Aaron is such a Taurus. I literally texted him, I might go home tonight. Look, read this.
Yep.
We're running a business here. No, that's fine. Just use the emoji. And are you taking selfies?
Yeah, he loves that. I've been so curious to get your outlook and opinion on the current narrative around therapy and mental health on the internet. I need a new desk situation. This thing is like annoying. This is looking so good. Can't wait for you to read it. I feel like you always end up seeing random shit, so please ignore the giant laundry basket of things that I'm washing. How's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Another week in the freelance journey. Today is Wednesday. I just got back into town on Sunday. This past weekend, I was in New York City for the second annual World Eating Disorders Action Day. It's hosted by the Mental Health Coalition and the Alliance for Eating Disorders, which is founded by Joanna Kendall, who is an amazing woman and has been on the podcast before twice. And sorry, I'm getting distracted by things that I absolutely need to clean on my table. They host this incredible summit at the UN, and this was the second year that they have ever done it there and the second year that I got to attend. So it was really fun to get to catch up with amazing people out there. I was able to see my friend Chrissy Rutherford and Mina B, and got to meet some amazing new faces there as well, and some incredible policymakers. Forever honored that I am invited to those types of things. I just finished interviewing Chrissy Rutherford, who I just mentioned, I just saw this past week in New York, for my newsletter, Irregardless. She's gonna be my third ever guest. So yeah, we just had a really fun conversation about all things, obviously astrology. She's like my astrology queen. We talked about a Saturn return survival guide. We talked about intuition. We talked about an abundance mentality when it comes to money. As somebody, we are both people who grew up with immigrant parents. That's sometimes not the thing that you're taught in your household. So that was a really interesting conversation to have as well. Chrissy is just somebody, and I say this in the interview, is just really somebody who every time I meet her, I'm like, she knows who the fuck she is. Very grateful for her, excited to get this interview up, which takes me to what I need to be doing, which is writing that newsletter. It's actually gonna go out tomorrow. This week we're having a little bit of a tight turnaround with traveling and everything going on. This was just like how it was gonna shake out. Hey, bye. Just finished prepping for the Thoughts May Vary episode that I'm about to record. So Father's Day is coming up, and so Meadow and I thought to do an episode sort of around the concept of unpacking your parents as humans. I really want to explore in this conversation too, like this shift that I feel like with social media to either like fix our parents or like we're reparenting ourselves because if we didn't get certain things as children. And like obviously I think there's so much space for that conversation, but I also think that the lines can get a little blurry between like cutting people out of your life when there is a difference between being unsafe and something is unhealthy versus you're just like a little bit uncomfortable, or in terms of like there's discomfort because like you guys butt heads. Again, I'm not like discounting people that were raised in really unsafe environments and have had to go no contact with their families. Like my heart is out to those people. So that's not necessarily what I'm talking about here. I just think that like there's a little bit of this expectation that I'm hearing in the online narratives that like everything needs to be catered to us. And if it's not, then fuck them. And I just think that is a completely unsustainable way of living with anybody in the world, including your parents. And then I would love to wrap with talking about like us becoming parents one day, because I love kids, but I think sometimes it can be a little awkward with kids. I'm like, how do I talk to you? I can see that for you.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, buddy.
You're like, learn some words and then we can have it.
Yeah. My camera's literally sitting on top of a crystal right now. Love that for me. By the way, these are so yummy. Dessoir sent me these non-alcoholic aperitifs. This one is supposed to be like a little Aperol spritz. I also finally got glass straws because my old straws were starting to disgust me because I couldn't see in them, and then I was like getting a little panicky that I wasn't actually cleaning them. Anyway, cracking up because I got an email from Newsweek that one of their reporters found my How I Manifested My Boyfriend TikTok and is writing an article on it. I'm gonna read you the headline, and I quote, "Why millennial woman is convinced she manifested," in quotes, "her boyfriend goes viral." I'm sorry. First of all, how dare you,
of your face,
millennial woman? next to my face with like concealer and contour unblended. Are you fucking kidding me? All right, here is the recording fit of the day. We're actually only recording one episode today, which means I don't have to bring an outfit change, which is also rare because we normally don't go to the studio just to record one episode. Tomorrow we're recording 4 podcasts, I think. So here's the fit. These baggy jeans, because we're on our period and I'm not wearing anything tight. These are from Kai. She really did something with this brand, let me just tell you. And then the denim top, I feel like you guys have seen 101 times. This is from Mango. And then I'm wearing my Gani flats. We have a ponytail with very dirty hair. My Heaven Mayhem earrings, the usual suspects on the hands. Okay, I'm gonna sneeze because I'm just staring into the light. I'm about to run downstairs. Meadow's about to get here. And we gotta go print some stuff and then we're gonna head to the studio.
I think she should be like a little higher.
I don't want to lose the table.
No, but just like a tiny bit.
Okay.
Because apparently I needed another reason to just destroy my office and move everything. I got this off Amazon. Really thrilled about it. It's a whiteboard. Let us begin the organization madness. I wanted to film while I got ready because I just got off a crazy phone call. So if you've been watching my channel for a while or just like keeping up with any of my content over the last however many years, you know, or maybe you know, hi, I have PCOS. I've had PCOS. I got diagnosed when I was 16. I'm now 28 and it has been a journey. I've talked about this in a lot of my videos and my podcasts. Like, it's not new information that I've gone through 1,000,001 different gynecologists, and it's been a really long process of just having to vouch for myself in doctors' offices and push back on things that I just don't feel are right for me. A person who has been really pivotal, frankly, of just like this whole journey in general, because it was reading her book that made me decide to get off of birth control 3-4 years ago now, is Elisa Vitti. She has been a dream guest of mine to come on the podcast and to just frankly have a conversation with for a very, since 2020, since I read her book. And that finally happened. She came on my podcast, Thoughts May Vary, a couple weeks ago, and both episodes, part 1 and part 2, I think like we talked for like 2 hours. So that's why there's part 1 and part 2 are now live anywhere that you get your podcast, as well as on YouTube. It was just such an informative, educational, incredible, cathartic episode. I really highly recommend anybody with hormones listen to it. From there, her and I scheduled a one-on-one consult. This is when I like turn to my mother and I can't pronounce words correctly. We scheduled a call to talk about my PCOS journey and just like walk through all the things that I'm on, like all of the supplements. I sent her my latest blood work and just like really diving into the nitty-gritty of it. When I tell you that for the last almost decade, I have not gotten a doctor nor a specialist to just sit down with me and have a very patient, calm, understanding, and like, what is the word that I'm looking for? Explanatory, is that even a word? Conversation with me, ever. I'm not lying to you when I tell you that every single gynecologist I've gone to, every doctor that I've tried to have the conversation about PCOS with, I have been met with the same disappointing, like, one-size-fits-all package. Today was the first time that in the decade that I have been living with PCOS since I was diagnosed with it, that I've gotten somebody to just fucking sit down with me and like talk to me like a person, talk to me in an individual way, where it was like, again, looking at my specific markers and what's gonna work for me, not just because, oh, she has PCOS, so let's just throw a bunch of shit at her that we throw at every single other person that's diagnosed with PCOS. The sum of it is that we came up with a great protocol that is for me specifically, which like, fucking finally, it feels extremely manageable. That is the thing. And if anybody is listening that has PCOS and is on PCOS TikTok, because I know it is a scary, scary place on the internet in the world of PCOS TikTok. Any of you are listening and feel like super overwhelmed by all of the information that you're hearing online and that you're hearing from your doctors and like whatever, take a breath. It might not have to be that complicated. Everybody's situation is completely different. And I feel lucky, especially after this conversation with Elisa, that like my situation is not extremely extreme, where the protocol does seem like really fucking manageable, especially because I've already been implementing lifestyle changes and supplements and stuff like that like have made this transition a little bit easier, and I'm not like panicked and mind blown at like the amount of things that I'm about to have to start like shifting and changing in my life. So I just wanted to vent for a second. I urge you to keep vouching for yourself in rooms where you feel like you're not getting heard. I understand, we talked about this in the podcast too, of like, I understand that feeling of discomfort when you're pushing back on something your doctor is saying, and then you're sort of like made to feel like you don't believe in medicine and science, which is just like not the case. You just like have questions, which is normal. I'm figuring out in my head the best way to sort of document this process, because I know PCOS TikTok and the internet can be like sort of a toxic place. I also just want to be sensitive to the fact that tracking things and looking at glucose and food and like all of the things can be really triggering for a lot of people. It's triggering for me, but I feel mentally like I'm in a really good, strong place that I'm able to do that. Anyway, that's that. It's now July. Ignore the washer dryer that's happening in the background and the fact that I look like literal garbage. I've been helping my boyfriend move over the last couple of days, and that has been super fun. I realized I hadn't filmed an outro, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'm so grateful for every single one of you that clicks on my videos, and please give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. You got those eyes. I say this every single time. Thanks. Bye.